Hi, everybody. Dan D. Federici, Saratoga Report, and I am here with Jessica Troisi. She is a candidate in Saratoga Springs for the Commissioner of Accounts here in Saratoga Springs. The election's in November, of course, and she is here with us today. This is sponsored content. Ms. Troisi, first of all, welcome to Saratoga Report, and are you enjoying this sometimes cool but still really pleasant late summer weather?
I am very much. I feel like I say it every season, but this is my favorite time of year.
That's great. Yeah, September's a great month here, as can be a lot of October. Not that I want to get too far ahead. We still are in August here, but
Yes.
it will soon be the heavy part of campaign season after Labor Day. So welcome here, and you are new to no, you're not new to Saratoga. You're a longtime Saratogian, and you're new to politics. At least that this is the first time you've taken the significant step of throwing your hat in the ring. Is that correct?
Yes, it is correct.
Oh, that's good. And I want to thank you. And even candidates, there's other candidates that I may not appreciate so much, their politics, their positions. I still appreciate anybody that is part of the solution, puts their hat in the ring. That's between the financially issues, the work involved. You told me how you're going door to door, spending hours and hours and hours for a meager salary in this city. I know it's going up, but it doesn't compare. So thank you for being part of the solution. That's one of the first things I want to say to you.
Well, I'm happy to do it and looking forward to being able to make a difference.
Okay, well, great. And this being our first time speaking in this manner, I wanted to simply get to know Jessica Troisi. And
Okay.
with that being said, can you kind of give us your life story and how you're here in Saratoga Springs and how you ended up here today as a candidate for Commissioner of Accounts?
Okay. Well, I grew up downstate, um, attended Potsdam, and after that, I went to Buffalo, where I worked as an addictions counselor for about 4 years, and was always passionate about photography. Always did things on the side, and fell in love with Saratoga during a summer trip to the jazz festival in college. And said I wanted to live here someday. So around my mid 20s, I started working towards making that happen and was blessed enough to be able to turn my hobby into a career along with the move in this direction and have stayed. I've raised my kids here in our wonderful school districts, and I cannot imagine living anywhere else. This is without a doubt my favorite place. I've considered it home for 32 years now and don't ever intend on leaving. I don't, the snowbird thing isn't really appealing to me.
Well, that's great. To touch a little bit on the personal, tell me a little bit about your kids, if you could.
I have two kids. My son Ryan is 27, and he just got his MBA, and he's let's see, an aerospace and nuclear engineer. He just took a job in Nashville, and my daughter just entered her senior year as a pre-med student down at Sacred Heart.
That is terrific. You and we did do a little bit of pre-talking about this. You beam every time. I think you're fighting back the smile here. You're so proud of your children. And you seem so happy with, not just because they're accomplishing things in the economic sense and so forth. You were telling me off camera what great kids they are.
They are. I am so incredibly lucky. I thoroughly enjoy being with them, hanging out with them. They're not just good students, good athletes, and all of that. They're just all around good people. And I thank my lucky stars every day that they turned out as great as they did.
That's great. And I'm sorry if you just mentioned this. Sometimes when I'm doing this, I'm thinking of my next question and you're talking. So I'm sorry if I'm asking you to repeat something. When we talked off camera, you also did some work as a contractor?
I did. When I moved up here, I met my then husband, and shortly before we got married, we started house hunting and weren't able to find anything that we liked, but we found some property and decided to design the house myself, and then wanted to contract it myself. And it just has built from then. And so I am on my fifth one. And I love that ability of being able to take something that was just an idea in my head and turn it into beautiful designs. I have a very good friend who is an architect who helps me out with the blueprint part of it, and kind of gotten used to the whole permits, contracts, insurance, that end of it. And that kind of feeds nicely into the accounts position, is that ability to look over contracts and deal with permits on a city level. It's not identical by any means, but I am familiar with that sort of thing that you have to do, and being very organized and being able to pull a lot of different people together that may or may not get along, but manage to create something amazing out of it. And I've been, again, very lucky that they've all been extremely successful. And the people that when I sold them and repeated the process, the current owners all love their homes, and I still know most of them well. So I enjoy it. I enjoy the challenge. I enjoy the being able to have this great crew around me that is able to turn my vision into reality. So.
You are kind of like a multi-talent here, because sometimes these things don't go together. When you're creative, sometimes you're not organized. The artist with the messy desk. You seem
Yes,
to have it both. You enjoy the creative process. You're not
I do.
afraid of the rote academic work of contracts and fighting with government, perhaps, or dealing with government, so forth. You can handle both categories. Some can only handle one or the other, it seems.
Honestly, my experience has only ever been good. I have always worked well with our building department. I think they are all great. And as with many areas, they are likely understaffed, underpaid maybe, but they are great. They work hard. They know their stuff. And if you're a rule follower and, make sure that you're doing things the way they're supposed to be done, they're on your side. They're there to help. And I've had nothing but great experiences with each and every one of them, from way back in the Mike Biffer days to the current guys under Dan Cogan.
That's that's great, and that's positive. It's
Yeah.
pleasure to talk to you. Actually, just hear your, I know this is you because I've gotten to know you a little bit, and you're just naturally upbeat, and I appreciate that. And I want to get a little bit into the politics in a minute, but just quickly, as far as Saratoga goes, what are your things that you like to do? Are you a track person? Are you a SPAC person? Do you like to go on the trails 10 miles out of town? Where's Jessica Troisi in her happy spot?
Okay. Well, I love our Adirondacks being that close. I do love to go hiking. Not as much time to do it as I'd like. I'm not much of a going out person at night, but I do love all of our restaurants. In particular, our outdoor dining has been great. I'd love to see that continue as the years go on. And I love to host parties in these houses that I build, for sure. And I like building myself. Interestingly enough, I am happier with a power tool in my hands than anything else. So when I say I build houses, sometimes I am actually there building. Like today, I was there putting up garage door jams.
Okay.
So yes, it's a little odd. I love to garden. Both vegetables, flowers. I've always, unfortunately, when you sell a house every 5 years, you don't always get to see it in its final stages. I feel like it's just getting the way I want, and I decide, ooh, I think I need to do this again. But I do love gardening, and I'm really grateful. I have a great crew of friends that I stay busy with. We do a lot of things. I love to travel, both within the States and out of the country. And I love to spend time with my kids, for sure.
Okay.
So.
Oh, that's great. And that's got to be tough, knowing how they are involved in their academics. I imagine that's a challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and it's also going to be a challenge if you get elected to this office, because you're going to be busier than you are. Let me ask you a question. Let me just say, if I recall this correctly, I'm going to ask you to correct me. You are a registered Democrat. You're endorsed by One Saratoga. The Republicans also endorsed you, so you have both lines, and you're running for office. How did Jessica Troisi, who's never run for office before, come to run for office this year? The why and the how, and anything else you want to say about that?
Oh boy. Well, I've always kind of watched from a distance. When you have small children at home, as you know, it's kind of difficult to get overly involved, but I always watched. I loved when our city council meetings became available online. And let's see, about 4 years ago, the gymnastics team that my daughter was on won their it was the 21st at the time. COVID kind of took the 20th, but they won their 21st straight Section 2 championship. And we ended up in City Hall for an award that Ron Kim presented. And I kind of stayed for the whole meeting. And again, that was the first time I had been in person in a while and really enjoyed it. And then I got involved in the short-term rental issue that was going on. I was not and nor was anybody in our group really completely against having regulations. We all believed that there should be. We just wanted to see them be a little bit more reasonable, and we kind of fought to find some middle ground there. And pretty happy with the way things turned out, and looking forward to seeing it implemented and the changes that continued. But as far as why I decided to throw my hat in the ring, I'm a big believer in not complaining about a problem without offering a solution. And I do think that our city council has struggled with some of the lawsuits, the arguments, the inability to work with each other. And it's what I'm good at. And I really think that I can make a difference. I'm really good at building bridges, bringing people together, and hoping that I can bridge that along with my skill set from building and from running my photography business, that I can hopefully transition that into City Hall and make a difference. I'd like to see everybody working together to a common goal, as opposed to the fighting and the things that happen right now. It makes it difficult to accomplish anything. And I truly believe in the One Saratoga City Before Party. And I'm not sure that there's anybody that I can't work with. Determined that I will make anything work. You get what you get. And you can be contentious about it and fight about it, or you can find that common ground and decide that that's what should bring people together.
That is phenomenal. I didn't know you were going to say it that way, and the applause there, that was impromptu. I did not plan on doing something like that. It was music to my ears. I know there's a lot of city residents that was. I mean, I have people texting me from Florida sometimes saying that live here part of the year, and they're like, "What is going on up there? Oh my goodness!" We keep hearing things and reading things, and so we do need. I think we do need some fresh faces in City Hall, and some fresh minds, and people that first and foremost want to work collaboratively, and that absolutely sounds like you. This is great. I think we're going to stop here and pick up on that thought. We're going to do this again, probably in 2 weeks. 7 to 14 days out, we'll do this again, get a little deeper into the topics. How about that?
Sure. Sounds good.
Okay. Hey, thank you for being here with me today. I've gotten to know you, but even just on camera here, I've gotten to know you a little bit more, and I'm enjoying this, and excited for your candidacy.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. Take care, Jessica.
Bye.